Hi, I'm Michael Muccio, author of America's Battle for Free Enterprise, The Value of Incentive and Competition. Well, we're going to talk today about how to screw up a nation. It's chapter 3 from America's Battle for Free Enterprise, How to Screw Up a Nation in One Easy Lesson. So that's quite a title. So how do you screw up a nation in one easy lesson? Well, you ignore free enterprise and everything that goes with it. You ignore the whole idea of incentive, forces different businesses competing with each other, competition. All of that gets set by the wayside. All the aspects of free market capitalism is set aside, and instead you increase the size of the central government, the federal government, at the from in our case in America in Washington D.C., and you decrease the size of the states controlling the matters, because states compete with each other, so that naturally utilizes the concepts of free enterprise. Now, what happens when you increase the size of the government at the federal level is they end up inadvertently picking their favorites. And it's usually large companies that fully cooperate with the party line of the narrow elite. And you're not going to see the small businesses that are highlighted by the central government. It's going to be the large companies that supply the greatest number of jobs per company. But the greatest number of jobs are supplied by small businesses and startup businesses across the country. This is where the jobs actually, the main jobs are going to be coming from. So, and for heaven's sake, allow policies. You don't want to allow policies that are going to even the playing field for entrepreneurs and those small businessmen to take their risks and grow their businesses. Now, we've seen this happen in Greece, Italy, Portugal, Spain, as they've moved more and more to socialism and further away from free enterprise. Unfortunately, history is not in their favor, and yet the USA is implementing more and more of the policies that swell the size of the central federal government and are less favorable to entrepreneurs and small businesses. Let's compare North Korea to South Korea. That displays perfectly the difference in success and failure between free enterprise and that narrow elite. Now, those in the North grow up without incentives to adequate education. They're not prepared in their schooling in any way to take that risk and start a business. They're not going to be able to own property and have legal access to the markets and grow more prosperous over. Meanwhile, in South Korea, young people dream of the day of prospering and either maximizing their potential by starting their own business or working for one of the many successful companies in South Korea. Now, it's no accident that it's South Korea that has produced companies like Hyundai and Samsung, not North Korea. Now, the question is, are we safe as a nation? Because you're saying, well, you're comparing communist North Korea to the free enterprise South Korea. But how about us in America? Well, a country doesn't have to be communist to have political institutions that concentrate power in the hands of a narrow elite. We need to create policies that are favorable to releasing the creative power of all of the citizens, not just a few. When the elites or central government that's too large devises institutions that control and extract resources from the rest of society, then we're heading closer and closer to the difficulty that countries like Greece and Italy and Portugal and Spain are in today. See, the elites proceed to pick their favorites that'll fully cooperate with their agenda. And the idea of free enterprise competing with one another, the states competing with one another, different small businesses competing in the free market, that all gets surrendered, and that elite's preferential treatment takes the forefront. Now, that's really what I meant when I wrote a businessman who expects his output to be stolen, expropriated, or entirely taxed away will have little incentive to work, let alone any incentive to take risks and investments and innovations. See, we want to look at free enterprise. What has free enterprise created? Well, it's created people. The Thomas Edisons have come out of America, out of free enterprise. R.G. Letourneau, with Caterpillar and the earth moving equipment that was very came in to play a great deal in World War II. You've got Bill Gates with Microsoft. You've got Steve Jobs with Apple. You've got Sergey Brin, Larry Page with Google. You got Jeff Bezos with Amazon, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. Now, these companies came out of free enterprise capitalism, where in each case, those individuals had incentive. They had a drive to pursue their dream. Now, none of them knew the degree of success and the size that their company would become, but they were startup companies. And the type of people that start up companies will start, and if they fail, they'll start again, We need to create an atmosphere for those kinds of risk-taking individuals to flourish in our country. There has to be policies that has these kinds of initiatives with the value of incentive and competition. So we'll be right back to take a look at the next chapter in just a moment.